Kathy Vick, Deeply Awake, Chats 2017. I really got a kick out of writing. I felt so much better. It was just really surprising to me how everything just improved. So I'm coming to you today just because I want to see my shining face and I want to share it with you. But yeah, that's the way home. It feels so good. So I wanted, though, to come to you in the moment and discuss a few things. So here we go. It's about energy and about the last 3 days and all kinds of really cool stuff. But I'm also going to talk about current events. It's all going to happen here, baby. So here we go. First of all, I think that the solstice was a big deal in retrospect. Oh, and here comes sunshine. Hold on. See this coat? It's like furry and delicious. Well, I got it for Appo, and I'm really glad I wore it like a coat and a blanket and a robe and everything. But does she like the fur. And I had it on me because I was chilly, and I couldn't record because she kept making love to it. So I took it off, and now she's doing it there. Good. I'm glad. Now she can lend her energy to the fine work, but she will be off camera. All right, that's my aside. Oh, here she comes. Anyway, here's the story. I can see energetically how profound this energy was, and I have a compatriot now who reluctantly is agreeing with me that perhaps he's a bit more extraordinary than he thought. We compared notes, my son and I, yesterday, because my employer began to say, Kathy, I'm really worried about you. You have to eat. She's not familiar with somebody who just goes off their feed now and then. So, and I'm a little bit worried about it sometimes. It's just one of those things that I do, and then I don't do it anymore. But I couldn't eat and I couldn't drink. I didn't want to put anything in my body for about 3 days. And I was sleeping in a really weird pattern, going to sleep, conking out early, waking up really early, feeling as if I've had a complete night, and then staying up, and then going back to sleep, and then getting up. And I had talked briefly about sleeping patterns in a tape about 2 weeks ago. I do want to mention sleeping patterns because I think they're important, and that I am. So here we go. During this time of intense energy, I and my son found ourselves unable to eat and sleep normally. And then we decided that, yes, we can break the fast. We're ready to break the fast. So we did that on Friday. And it feels good to break the fast. But it's important, I think, to honor the flow of energy as it's going through the body, because resisting it or fighting it or telling yourself that it's not normal and making yourself eat. Well, sometimes I have to make myself eat, but normally I won't do that until I have a headache and I feel icky. I just drink water because my body can be on fire with hunger, but the thought of putting anything in my mouth and chewing and swallowing, nope, not going to happen. So both of us have agreed that smoothies are a good option, and this is very, very, very common in the high vibe tribe. That's why I'm mentioning it. The idea is that we eat for light quotient. we don't eat for nutritional value. We eat for light quotient. And so that's why highly processed food, you need a lot of it to feel nourished. That's why a lot of people who eat junk food eat a lot of it and gain weight. They know they're seeking light, and they get light, but not much of it through processing of the foods. So raw, or just food that's closer to the sun is sort of what the body likes. And so, and moving from solid eating to liquid, that's very common. Dolores Cannon chronicles it, as do many other people. That as the body lightens, it doesn't vibrate very well with things it has to process to get new nourishment from. And so long ago, like in 12, I got very comfortable with going through periods of not eating and just being in that place, and I like it. So I want to tell you that also there has been a tremendous change in thinking and feeling too, and in expression. Yesterday really culminated many things, and I, with, I'm sure, a very quizzical look on my face, asked a friend of mine, how is it possible that my life really has blossomed into flowers? It's blossomed into flowers. There are so many areas of my life where miracles have happened, and as a result of other people's actions, my life is different now, and it's appreciably better. It's more loving, and it's softer, and it's not going away, and it's really pretty amazing. So yesterday, all day was I was very altered, and as the day progressed, it got more and more intense, and I understood that I had been there had been a process going on. I was literally more euphoric and blissful and radiantly altered than I've been on any substance, or that I had actually been in a sustained way ever in my life. And in those states, I know to just listen, and wherever I'm told to go is where I go. I just what feels right is what feels right. I had been working on releasing a life issue that it needed to be released, and I didn't know how. I just didn't know how. And I didn't have any intention of releasing it. I just knew that I was burdened and continued to suffer even though I had done all this work. And it wasn't like I was ruminating on that. That was the state of my reality. Even so, I was carrying all of this stuff that I just didn't want to carry, and I was feeling this incredibly altered, beautiful state. And in that state, I knew I needed to go. I was almost home. I'd done all of these errands. It was very effective. My pain level was low, and I was directed to go to the park across the street from where I live. I knew I needed to go there. I needed to see the kissing trees. There are 2 trees, one on either side of the sidewalk, and they hold hands. It's so sweet. And I hadn't seen them for several years, and I wanted to say hi to them. That's what I went to the park to do, but I couldn't find them. I saw other trees, and they were almost holding hands, but not yet. And then I walked to a stand or a group of pine trees. They were very tall. And I found myself crying and saying, "Oh, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here." And I reached out and touched the nettles, but they were very sharp. I didn't care. And I kept saying thank you and kissing them. And I walked through the trees knowing that they were my friends and they were there to help me somehow. Then I found a tree in that group that all the branches were bending down to the earth. But there was a way to get in and go right to the trunk, because the other trees you couldn't touch the trunks. And of course I wanted to hold a tree. And there it is. So I walked through that canopy and I walked right up to the tree trunk, understanding, dear one, that I was crying the whole time in gratitude and thanks. In these states, I'm not, it's a different state, dear. And so I went to the tree, and in gratitude, I held it. I put my back to the tree, and it held me. It understood why I was there before I understood. And so I said my I'm sorries. I said my please forgive me's. I said my thank yous. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Soon enough, I understood I needed to turn my body so that my face and my heart was facing the tree, and we were in an embrace. So I did that. They explained as it happened. I know that when I speak to one tree, I'm speaking to the whole kingdom. I kept saying to them, I don't know what to do with this, but I know you do. I saw a cloud come out of my body, black and red. And the trees accepted it. They were fine with it. They didn't hate me for it. They were grateful. They know what to do with it. It's a big enough kingdom, it'll just be dispersed, transmuted. Because you know the trees, they're directly related to Source. They're in constant communication. They're very pure conduits. Source knows what to do with this energy I didn't know what to do with. So I gave it to them because they took it from me. Then I got in my car and I wasn't altered very much anymore. I went home and I had a good night. And I really am very, very blessed to be in company with this young man who is so extraordinarily wise and kind and gentle, and insightful and intelligent, and that's my son. Amazing. Flowers. So that's what happened there. It was pretty neat. And I knew, I was thinking, oh my gosh, I really want to go home and do a video of this. I need to capture this. And I knew there'd be Anomaly City. But I celebrated a different way. So then I want to explain what happened that morning. I woke up yesterday morning understanding something that hasn't left me and is a game changer. So it's time to talk about it. I got first thing in the morning, I saw many, and I've talked about them, many probable lives in this one, in this just one little life. Moments that in time when I could have made one decision or the other. If I had had, a different sense of self or a different belief structure in the future, I would have made different choices, would have been associated with different people, and had different outcomes. I saw this when I was waking up, okay? Just waking up. The graphic artist I saw, who was a probable self of mine, living in the Northeast. I saw her in 84, I think it was, or 83. I'm aware that I'm also I am an Indian in the Himalayas. I've been alive for well over 1,000 years. I'm corporeal, but I live on prana in the Himalayas. But in this lifetime, there are different realities that I could have chosen, different expressions, different homes, different families I could have created, different men I could have married, different women I could have married. And I realized in a flash, this body, this mouth, this heart, these breasts, those feet, this reality, this timeline, my timeline, was set when I encountered the teachers. This lifetime for me, I'm not the monk in the Himalayas. I'm not the graphic artist. I'm not the married with children sad one. I'm not those people. I'm this. I'm an ascensionist. I'm a shaman. I'm a magician. I'm an author. I'm a healer. I'm an intuitive Reiki master. I'm a tarot reader. I'm incidentally a nurse. This is my lifetime, and it's okay to be this. And I think before yesterday morning, always along with all of this was this guilt that I was doing this thing, and I shouldn't be doing this thing. Excuse me. Could it be there hadn't been enough individuation or acceptance of this expression? Not understanding, or, that there was a dilution of this expression because I felt an allegiance or a necessity to be the other things, the traditional monogamist, the traditional mother, the whatever, all of the different expressions that are not this. Because this is, I have to say, this is highly unique. But it's this body that sat on a casino stool and had an encounter with light. The machines went dead and the lights went dead afterwards. And then I had a near-death experience. Actually, 2 of them. It's this body that saw that golden matrix and saw the world dissolve into compassion and love and benevolence on Christmas Eve of 2012. It's this body that created a portal over Lookout Mountain. It's this body that turned clear plastic into purple plastic after the gold treatment they gave me on Lookout Mountain. It's this body. It's this person. It's this Kathy that was encoded with information about ascension, DNA activation, and this time on Earth. Once I figured that out yesterday morning, I had a peace that hasn't left me. Because I understand, and just give me a break. Some people, I guess, might have gotten this, but I don't know. I keep thinking about what Kryon had to say about this weird little group of New Agers that he calls fully entangled. I'll include it. It's really helpful. There is a group of people in our tribe, like me, fully entangled with things that are not earthly. That's what's really helped. I listened to Kryon about a couple weeks ago, maybe, and just random stuff. And what came through those recordings was there is a small portion of the population keyed to do this. He talks to that portion of the population. He talks to me. He talks to those who listen to him because they resonate with him, because they're keyed. Kryon can't be listened to by some people. I can't get people interested in some people. It's like, whoa, don't you dare. So I very rarely share it. That's something that everybody has to come to on their own. But, there was a recording, he said, you are... It's been really hard for me to reconcile this. I didn't want an us and them in my reality. I didn't. I fought my entire life for there to not be an us and them, for me to understand and really get why it is people do the things they do that I don't understand. to be one with them so I could understand them and ease their way, but there's no us and them. That's the thing that kills, isn't us and them. And now I see the kind of things that some people are really okay with, and I know there isn't us and them. There isn't us and them. For me. Now. Once in a while I get a glimpse of it. When I talk to someone. When I read something. Once in a while I get it. I have done so much work. I am so far beyond so many people. I've always known that. Why do you think I hobbled myself? Taking on these affectations and believing with all of my heart that I'm not as good as the next person. But now I can accept it. I'm different. I'm part of that half of 1% of the human population keyed to ascend. And I have. And when I come back, I will have full memory. I'll be a little Buddha in an infant body, in clearer energy, in a different life path. It's not going to be a karmic life next time. It's not one now. It's finally turned into flowers, just like I was told it would. I had a 3-day period. They told me at the end of it there would be a complete disconnection from the outside world. And they said, even with all the work you've done, this is what's going on. And there was tangle, 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 tangle. And they said, watch. And it was one line. Tangle, tangle, tangle. Now you're going to go through this day of being cut off. And there'll be a line. And then flowers. I'm really okay with there being an us and them. And I'm really okay with me being different than the average Joe. I devoted my time to a group of disembodied entities that talked about DNA and whales and sexual responsibility and, I don't know, lots of things. Lemuria. Galactic truth, source energy, energetic healing, Jesus, all those things. And it sealed this lifetime's fate. So, that's what I am. That's what you get. And it's led to great peace. And I really wanted to share that with you because I think it's beautiful. It's sort of the happy ending. I'll finish by letting you know that I have applied to audition to do a TED Talk. It's not going to be, I got the download, and I'm hoping that I get the opportunity to share what it is I want to present. I'm really excited about it. I told my kid about it. He said, well, if they don't let you do it this year, then they're just not ready yet. High five you, my love. High five you. So, it involves the tattoo that I've been threatening to get for a long time. I think I'll put that up on the website as the picture. But it's a tattoo that I wanted on my arm since 2012. It shows a calendar, and it shows a schematic of planets, and the third planet along is absent from the orbit. That's the planet that ascended. It's a photograph or an image of completion of the goal, of the point. And my son and I had already decided that our Independence Day ritual is to get tattoos. So I'd already planned to get it right here. I was gonna do right here. I was gonna do it here on my snuff box, but I want it there. I had decided this. So if I'm allowed to audition, I get to explain a lot. I get to bring a lot of people along. And yeah, if it's not this year, then next. But I'm on my way. So, I wish you a very fond and happy Saturday. I hope you're at peace with yourself. I do, more than anything. This is not a time to be dependent on other people having peace in their lives. It's nice when they do. Don't get me wrong. It's time to get right with yourself. Namaste.